Okay, welcome back to the Pikmin playthrough. I'm Josh.
I'm Tyler.
And I'm Jeff.
And we're going back to the distant spring.
For the last time.
Hope.
To get a
Well, yeah,
bunch
actually
of
it
parts.
is. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we've recorded the last... This is a re-recording of Pikmin Part 11. And I don't remember what happened last time.
Yeah, it was about a month ago since we recorded part 10 and part 12. Since we're recording this after part 12, which is the final part, so...
Josh's audio was too quiet when we did the original Part 11.
Yeah, so we had to redo it.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't find out till a month later because I am great with editing. Fast.
Yeah, I don't normally notice these things till later when I finally edit them up again and realize, oh, well, that didn't work out too well.
Yeah.
I remember us having a conversation here about whether the Pikmin have a queen or not.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Which I guess is technically the onions.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they seem more like incubators. Or
I think they're more of a means of breeding, and Olimar's technically sort of a queen. Maybe they just follow something that they think will help them survive.
well, it is strange to have like the device which helps them reproduce be just non-sentient.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can't remember if it is actually sentient or not. I think it is sort of sentient. Or it may be machine, because Pikmin kind of likes to do that.
Well, they do seem to fly by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They can find their way around, I guess. Maybe they're just limited in a way.
So yeah, well, I think maybe that the onions are the actual creatures, and then the Pikmin are just like parts of the onion that are just used to do things. You know, like an arm or a leg.
Oh, okay. That's...
And then so all the blue Pikmin have one mind, and then all the red Pikmin have one mind because it's all one onion.
So that's why everyone just associates Steve with the red Pikmin.
Yeah, because they're talking about the onion Steve. I don't know. That's just my theory about it. It makes the most sense in my opinion. So
Mm-hmm.
it's why all the Pikmin work together so well. Because they're all one mind.
Well, they don't always work together perfectly well. I'm not saying that they work bad together, it's just they're pretty glitchy at some points.
Yeah, but that's the game's glitch, not really the lore of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So, exactly how intelligent are the Pikmin? I mean, an individual Pikmin. I guess they wouldn't be mindless.
I think they're ants, basically, is what they're kind of like.
Going by instinct.
Yeah. And maybe if you draw a chalk around them, they can find their way around. But I doubt that.
Damn, we just lost all our blue ones.
Ugh.
Luckily, I still have enough to carry back that ship part because luckily the captain's punches aren't as weak as in Pikmin 3.
Yeah, they're pretty bad in Pikmin 3.
Yeah.
Well, Olimar's probably in better shape. You know, he's been throwing Pikmin a whole lot longer.
Yeah. Or maybe Hawkatations are just more strong than Copians.
Are they... What would be the proper terminology for Pikmin 3's pilots? Copians or...
Yeah, I think it's Copians. I'm not
Okay.
100% sure though. I think it might be something... Oh, I think it's Copites.
Oh, okay.
And the Hawkatations.
Because Hawkatation sounds kind of off to me. No, not Hawkatations, Copians.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I just not used to it because
Cool.
you only hear it a few times in the game, so...
Mm-hmm. How many times have you played through Pikmin 3 at this point?
3 to 5.
Oh, okay.
The story mode isn't too long. I mostly play mission mode, to be honest.
Well, it's a good distraction.
Yeah, well now, at this point, if you download all the DLC, Pikmin 3 mission mode is actually bigger than the story mode, or around the same size. Because it has 30 levels, opposed to the 10 without all the DLC. So...
It's a good thing we're trying out this new recording method, because I hardly heard any of what you said there.
Oh. I don't know, it seems to be like with the Skype calls with us, always like glitch up, like the Thunder Crash ones, but then like any other Skype call I'm in, it never happens. It's like the Thunder Crash curse.
Well, we have our own curse now, huh?
Yeah. I don't know if we should be proud about it, but we have it. Apparently.
We have a curse. It's probably nothing to be proud of at all.
Yeah.
It's probably a pretty bad thing.
Yes.
Oh, you took out more. Okay. Looked like you put some in, but whatever.
Yeah, the HUD kind of looks a little weird when you're going into the onion. Like all the colors kind of just blend in. I don't know. Looks like a beta menu, kind of. Like a menu you'd have in a beta stage of the game. But it's fine.
I just realized all the GameCube games we've done so far are probably just the most boring games that we've ever commentated over.
No, more like just the shortest. So
They're
there's like
short.
nothing much to talk about after like the first few parts.
That's kind of what I mean by boring. It's just we can't find anything to talk about them.
Yeah, well, with Pikmin, we're kind of limited to talk about the entire series because we don't want to spoil Pikmin 2 and 3 too much. Since we're probably going to commentate them at one point.
At one point, yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll find a way to make those games more exciting than this one.
Yeah.
And it also doesn't help that Jeff has no idea what these games are like.
Yeah, he's missing out.
Does that guy wreck your shit? No, he doesn't.
No.
What's the deal with this flower?
You throw Pikmin into it, and I guess we didn't explain it last time, did we?
No, I don't think we did.
You throw Pikmin into it, and it basically spawns out different colored Pikmin.
Oh, yeah, I see.
It's in Pikmin 2. It's the only means of getting the purple and white Pikmin.
Yeah. So they're kind of like a rare Pikmin then.
Oh, so
Like,
so you went onto that island, made them blue, and I guess now you have to throw them over the water.
yeah.
It's an interesting puzzle. It's a lot more puzzly than the other points of the games. Most of the time it's just you trying to weave your Pikmin around other things.
Yeah.
And do you have to make them blue for the return journey?
Yes.
Yeah.
To get them across the water, because it's like a little island.
Now, have these flowers appeared previously in the game? Because I guess I must
I
have missed.
think so.
Yeah, yes, they are in the Force Naval, but I never use them. Because they're not really required or very useful. It's only if you really have a low number of Pikmin and you just want to convert it because you want a certain number of blue Pikmin but you have too many yellows or whatever, for example. So.
I think in Pikmin 2 though, the flowers all had a limited number of times you can use them, and in this game I think you can use them an unlimited amount of times.
It's not unlimited, it's just like a large number of Pikmin, like 50, I think. But in Pikmin 2, it's only 5, in Pikmin 3, so...
I think the way they're programmed too is just that they're little onions as well. In a sort of way that they kind of have some sort of draw that you can just mash A to pick up Pikmin.
Oh yeah, I think they might be pre-evolved onions, because now that I think about it, if they like would fold up and evolve, they would kind of look like an onion. And they kind of do similar things to onions.
Well, yeah, they both produce Pikmin.
Yeah, just in different ways. Like the candy pot bud does it in a conversion way, while the onion does it in like a producing way. So. And if it was a pre-evolved version of the onion, that would also explain, like, purple and white Pikmin, how they're, like, newer types of Pikmin, and they aren't as developed as the red, yellow, and blue.
Yeah.
Since they're only through candy pot buds, and they didn't develop onions yet.
Yeah. Which is kind of weird considering that a rock Pikmin and winged Pikmin do have onions.
Well, maybe, I think Pikmin 3 is much more in the future. That's probably why.
Okay, I guess.
And, yeah, and then they just never come across the, white or purple onions for some reason.
Is Olimar ever controllable in Pikmin 3?
Yes, he's controllable in some DLC stages, and he's controllable in Bingo Battle mode.
Oh, okay.
Along with Louie. So.
Oh yeah, I knew Louie was controllable in that, but I didn't think Olimar was.
Yeah, he is.
That's good, because Olimar's pretty cool.
Yeah, I prefer the Hawkitations over the, Copipes. Just because of, like, I just like their design better. They look more like alien rather than small human.
Yeah, well, I never really noticed a difference between them. That's just because they're kind of they're all just basically small people to me.
Yeah, but I mean like the Hawkitations have like big noses, the line eyes, like not barely any hair, and pointy elf-like ears. But then the Copians have like normal hair, normal eyes, normal nose, and well, the ears are still like kind
Pointy,
of like
elfy.
ovals.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like elfy, except like without the points, so they're just like long. And that's like the only major difference besides their size, so I don't know.
They should have the president as DLC in the next Pikmin game. Or not in the next Pikmin game. As the in one of the new DLCs, they need to remake the president as one of the characters you can control.
Yeah, I agree. They need to actually, I think they need to make it so you can control, like, in maybe one mission mode, like, more than 3 captains, because so far you could play as Olimar and Louie, but there weren't, Brittany or Charlie wasn't in that level, so it'd still only be 3 captains. So.
Is this a big, boring, grindy fest sort of thing?
Yeah, at this point, because we have all the ship parts but one. But it's not too long. I just organize my Pikmin and then try to go and show off the Smoky Prog really quick before the day ends.
Oh, okay.
This level seems really wide open. Is it? Or
The Distant Spring? Yeah, it's a pretty big area. It's, I think, the biggest in the whole series. Well, no. Pikmin 3's areas are really big, but...
Oh, yeah, they're massive. Although, in Pikmin 3, the areas are big, but, they're just... They don't look as big to me. They're, a lot more bigger because there's a lot more areas. You can go from, like, the top of an area to the bottom of an area, sort of thing. And that's how big they are.
Yeah, I think each area in Pikmin 3 maybe is probably as big as the Distant Spring.
Especially, I think it was the first, or was it the second area where you got the rock Pikmin, I think, and as well as the blue Pikmin.
Yeah.
Okay, that area is massive just due to the fact that at the start of the game, you go to that area for the first time, and it's big. It's probably as big as here, and then you have to go back there later, and a whole another big area comes up and opens up for you.
Yeah, I really like that.
Mhm. Doo-doo. And what? Oh yeah, you gotta wait for them to go in first. I think
Yeah.
in Pikmin 3 they just came out instantaneously.
Yeah, they came out a lot faster.
Mhm.
Which I liked because I think my least favorite part about Pikmin was how slow and cumbersome it was to organize the Pikmin.
Mhm.
And you couldn't really do it really fast, so it took a bit of the day when you didn't want it to. But in Pikmin
Yeah.
3, it's really easy because they're all on one onion and they all come out and go in really fast.
Mhm.
Is this an egg?
Yeah, it's side mini boss, and it's just it's a hidden boss, and it's a pretty difficult hidden boss as well.
Yeah. What it's supposed to be a Mamuta egg. We didn't really see a Mamuta in the game yet, and we won't until the enemy reel in part 12. But it's basically like a rock type enemy, and that's supposed to be like the egg, and you birthed it prematurely, so it looks malformed.
Oh, it's ew, that's kind of gross.
Yeah.
Huh. I didn't know it was ugh.
It's like, yeah, an undeveloped larvae or whatever.
Are you my mommy?
Well, it's not developed quite yet, so it probably doesn't think that. All it can think is maybe the ship's my mommy, and maybe everything's its mommy.
Yeah, maybe we should kill everything.
Walk all over those Pikmin and burn them to death with the poison.
Yep.
I don't
Too
know.
bad we don't have white Pikmin.
Luminescence impact. At last, but a single part remains. I didn't do these before, so I don't know why I'm doing these now.
Yep.
The difference between my playthroughs and your playthroughs of Pikmin is I take forever in Pikmin. You take like 5 seconds compared to my time.
Oh, well.
Anyways, the final trial begins next part.
See you guys then.